swinging away and socks this to deep left field. That is gone! Bryson
Where the pulse for the ball. It's a chest high snap. He was down the middle of the field. He's going to throw the run. Has it in the field. Intercepted! Intercepted, taking it down the far sideline. He steps out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. And that's how you cap the game up. Jabril White called game on his third interception of the evening.
Sierra Smith quickly worked around, feeding the hot hand. Jasmine got it! 3 threes for number 23.
He finds Edwards. Edwards needs to get the shot up. Pulls up a deep three. Able to knock it down.
The counter-attack. Here comes Carla Ramos forward, looking for Noelle Lemus. She's gotten by the last defender. Bounty comes out. Noelle drills the keeper. Lemus! Lemus! And that is a DVC victory. And the Vikings are champions of California!
We're live here at the DVC Palladium on Steve Coach Emilio Court, and we've got more 4CD action coming your way. Last time around, we had a rivalry matchup between the Contra Costa College Comets and the DVC Vikings. That was a couple days back, but now we got another foe from the 4CD in Los Medanos College. The Mustangs coming to this one 4-3 on the year, 0-1 at home, 4-2 on a neutral site. They started playing their season at the Tony Costello Classic at Las Positas College, lost a single game at home to Skyline College, and then they were invited to the Mendocino Invitational, where they finished second place to Sacramento City College. Sacramento City College, the 25th ranked team. They took them down to the wire. 79-78 was the final of that matchup. But something to note right now, LMC has not played a game in 10 days. It has been way before Thanksgiving. Let's see if this team comes out refreshed or if this team comes out with some sluggish legs under them. So LMC is led by Derek Dominan Kelly. He's the 22-year head coach, and he's been around this system forever. In terms of LMC, they play a pretty sound game of basketball, averaging 15 assists per game and averaging only 8 turnovers per game. That is third in the 3C2A in this current standings. This is a team that defensively rebounds very well, does pretty well scoring at 79 points per game. This is a team that you cannot overlook. They are very good with the fundamentals, and they're a team where if you play sloppy basketball, you will get taken over. On the other side for the DVC Vikings, they come into this game 2-4 on the year, 1-1 at home, 1-3 on the road, coming off that tough loss against Contra Costa College. And in that game, man, it was sloppy from the get-go. The Vikings were slow getting back on their defensive assignments. They were really just struggling trying to get some rebounds, 30 rebounds in that game, a bunch too many turnovers, and the fouls. The fouls were the name of the game on both sides. The officials called it pretty tight, 22 fouls versus Contra Costa College for the Vikings, but the biggest difference there, CCC 29 of 37 from the free throw line, whereas the Vikings were only 18 of 32. That's 56% from the free throw line. And when you leave that many points on the line, that says everything. So for the Vikings today, they'll have to really crash the boards, get some really solid defensive rebounds. They need to get some better quality shots. I mean, a few good shots by Kai Curry, but the rest of it, it felt like the offense was out of sync for the majority of that game, aside from maybe Ben Tejas. Tejas had a terrific night, 31 points, 9 for 25 from the field, 5 for 16 from beyond the arc, but more importantly, 8 for 8 from the free throw line. So he was getting inside the paint, picking up that contact on those fouls, and he wasn't settling for just being an outside shooter. He was getting inside, making it happen. But if you want a fun stat here, 16 out of the 25 three-point shots taken last game, they were taken by Ben Tejas. 64% of DVC's three-point shots were taken by Ben Tejas, and I expect a large dose of three-pointers coming by the way of Ben. And going back to the fouling point as well, all the bigs for DVC were in foul trouble essentially in the first half. 2 fouls apiece on each side. Thank goodness that they have a bunch of different depth at that position. They were able to send a few different bodies in there, but yeah, just not starting out slow, really getting back on defense and playing some sound secure basketball in contrast to the sound secure basketball of LMC. That's going to be the difference. So we've got starters on the floor, and we'll give it to you as well. The first starter, number 1, J.J. Robertson, the 6'2", 165 freshman out of Pittsburgh. He will be a guard, averaging 12.1 points per game. At another guard, it's number 2, Devin Carson, the 6'3", 170 freshman, or sophomore, out of Deer Valley, is averaging 27.9 points per game. He is an absolute killer, and man, he's coming off a hot start. It's 26 points, shooting nearly 50% last time around. The only shots that he really missed were beyond the arc. 1 for 7 from beyond the arc, so you're going to want to force that guy to take outside shots and not go inside. Third guard is number 4, Ramon Bailey, the 6'5", 185 sophomore out of Clayton Valley. I mean, a bigger body guard listed as a guard. He is a real pest of an on-ball defender. 15 total steals, averaging 15.1 points per game as well. I guess it is a 4-guard setup, as A.J. Dungo, another guard of 5'10", freshman out of Hercules, or sophomore out of Hercules, rather. He's another scorer that can really get it done, 9 points per game, but he's the point guard in the set. Leads the team with 4.4 assists per game. And lastly, inside, it's Touche Onyendor, the freshman center from Nigeria. I was talking to Coach Daman Elchelli before the game. I mean, he's just a guy that wandered into the gym. He's a massive body, 6'7", grew up from 6'3" last time. He has a 7'3" wingspan, so he's going to be a big presence, not necessarily in height, but in terms of just length, width, and the ability to defend inside the post. On the other side for the DVC Vikings, Vinny Hurtado, number 12, gets another start. The 6'1", 185 sophomore out of Clayton Valley. He is the leading assist man for the Vikings with 4 assists per game. At another guard, Kai Curry, number 2, the 5'10", 170 freshman guard out of American Canyon, coming off a massive game, 18 points for him. Ben Tejas lining up the scoreboards. We talked about him before. The 6'2", 185 sophomore guard forward from College Park. And at 4, it's going to be Cole Webster, the 6'8", 180 forward from LA Premier Pep. He's been a real nice presence inside the post, 7 blocks, and he leads the team in that category, giving 8 points per game, and he'll take the middle of the circle. And then lastly, at center, it's going to be Michael Wood, the 6'6", 205 center from Las Lomas. And we get the action to the middle of the floor here as we get things ready to go. It'll be Cole Webster versus Touche in the middle. Touche able to win the tip. And I believe it's going to be a violation against Touche, as the Vikings will get the ball despite the fact that LMC won the tip. So a turnover will set up Cole Webster along the middle of the far baseline. And we'll get the action started there. So the Vikings working right to left. They're in their gray jerseys, gray bottoms with the yellow trim, with the green trim and the green numerals. On the other side, it'll be LMC in their maroon jerseys with the maroon bottoms with the yellow and white trim and the yellow numerals. So the shot clock doesn't seem to have started. I think maybe a power cord got unplugged or something. So Coach Irv, on top of being the being the head coach of the Vikings here, will be the man that solves the technical troubles. So he'll actually get the shot clock going, and we'll be back in just a moment here on DVC Vikings Live. All right, so the stanchion is fixed. Coach Irvin and company took it back down, fixed up the shot clock, and we're ready to go. So the other side of the line now, Cole Webster will inbound over to Vinny Hurtado, and Hurtado will pass it over to Kai Curry to start the set. From the right wing, Kai Curry works around the screen, a pick and roll into the paint, and it's Michael Wood getting the first points of the game. Only 2 points in that last showing, only a one-shot attempt, so it's good to see the big man inside get it going. Driving left to right now is Dungo as he goes inside the paint, flicks up the shot, and a foul be called against the Vikings. This is not what you want. So many fouls called last time around. It is the same officiating crew, so you got to factor that in a little bit during the scouting report. So the basket is good for Dungo, and Dungo will go to the free throw line to shoot a and one opportunity. 2-2 is the score here in the early going. 19:35 remaining, rattles in the first one, and AJ Dungo gives the first lead to LMC with that free throw shot. So 3-2 our score. Vinny Hurtado flipping over to Benteas. Benteas dribbling with the right hand, back over to Hurtado, and now inside the post to Wood. Wood flings it out over to Benteas, and Benteas for three. Teas 42% on the year from three, and he's shooting it at a very high volume as well. Trying to get inside the trees. It was Bailey, and Bailey misses the shot, but an offensive rebound by Touche, and Touche able to get his first points. Quickly down the floor, it's Kai Curry, the athletic guard, slashing inside the paint, and it's a 7-5 game. Scoring will not be at a premium at this rate because both these teams are flying down the floor. 18:52 remaining. Ball over the head. Gets it over to Carson. Carson, right-handed shot inside the lane, misses it, offensive rebound, goes over to the left wing, and it's over to Ramon Bailey. And Bailey able to get his first shot to drop, tied up at 7 here at the 18:34 mark. Kai Curry handling, he's doubled here, and it looks like it was almost a 3-2 zone for just a moment, and that's man-to-man once more. 2 point guards on paper on the floor with Vinny Hurtado and Kai Curry. Hurtado over to Tejas, 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Pump fakes for Tejas, right wing over to Curry. Curry with the 15-footer, rims that one out. J.J. Robertson with the rebound. Cherry picking ahead, and the wide open shot rims in for Dungo. Dungo the leading scorer so far with 5 points. 18 minutes remaining here in the first half of play. Mo Wilson coming to the scorer's table. Something that the Vikings really need to do better at. Gotta get back on defense. That's a huge factor. Wood, 14-foot jumper from the free throw line. Cole Webster with the O board. Cole Webster inside, leaves it short, fighting for the board. Michael Wood is there once more, fouled and one. Michael Wood, a presence on offense in this early going, got the first basket, and now he'll go to the line to try to dot the I on the three-point play. Vinny Hurtado checking out. Moselle Wilson in for the first time. 62% free throw shooter is Michael Wood as he leaves it short. Michael Wood misses the free throw, and he's still got 4 points in this 9-9 game. 7:35 in the first. Handling once more as AJ Dungo almost turns it over, but J.J. Robertson able to get the ball back. Driving down the baseline, throws a shoulder into Tejas, no call there. And the jumper is in from about 10 feet out. Robertson's first points of the game, he averages 12.1 per game. Kai Curry running the set, handles over to Tejas, and now a feed inside. Webster doesn't dunk it, but instead Webster just gets a wide open layup underneath the basket. Good ball movement, tied up at 11. Baseline drive once more for Carson, and a wide open drop off to Touche once more. Touche Omiendor gives LMC a 13-11 game, and that takes us to our first stoppage of the action here on DVC Vikings Live. $16:57 remaining here in this first half of play, and we've got a highly scoring basketball game. Man, both teams are just scoring unlike any other thing that we've really seen up to this point. Marshawn Smith checks back into the game, and he'll replace Cole Webster. Mo Wilson has it in the corner, Feed inside to number 1. That's Marshawn Smith. And now a two-man game between Mo and Marshawn. Marshawn from the right elbow. Cross-court pass over to Ben Tejas. He's caught inside the trees. Marshawn picks it up, changing the sneakers as we saw him slip a few times last game. And Ben Tejas from the corner knocks it down. Ben Tejas 2 for 2 from beyond the arc, and that gives the Vikings a 1-point lead. Bailey cutting down the court. Bailey with the double clutch, and Bailey misses the left-handed hook shot. Wood with the rebound. Tejas to push it up the floor. Tejas over to Mo Wilson. Mo Wilson to Wood. Rotation around the perimeter. Now Kai Curry will bring it back around. Mo Wilson between the circles, calling the set from the DVC midcourt logo. Curry to Marshawn Smith. Marshawn Smith jab steps, cross court over to Tejas. Tejas doesn't take the 3. Instead, 15 feet out. And the inside shot's working for Ben as well. Ben, the leading scorer for the Vikings, averaging 18 points per game, and he's already got 8 at the 15:40 mark. Stepping out of bounds, and that's a turnover on AJ Dungo. Dungo turns the ball over, and the Vikings will get a rotation here. Michael Wood checks out, Kai Curry checks out, and in comes Pardo and Keys. So Pardo, Keys, Moselle Wilson, Marshawn Smith, as well as Ben Tejas. Those are the 5 on the floor for the Vikings. Working right to left. Pardo has it in his lime green kicks. Right elbow over to Keys, back over to Tejas. Tejas behind the back dribble, throws it off the leg of a defender. Pardo tried to come and save it, but instead a turnover on the Vikings. Forcing turnovers is one thing you need to do, and not turning it over. It's just playing fundamental basketball. That is the key. On the other side for LMC, it's Ramon Bailey as well as AJ Dungo, JJ Robertson, Carson, and Onyendor, I should say, rather. The starters are still on the floor. A wild attempt behind the baseline. I didn't quite see if it was maybe a block by Marshawn Smith as Bailey swings the sleeve off his arm. He didn't like that last attempt with the sleeve on, so with the missed shot, the Vikings have the 3-point lead, 16-13 with 15 minutes remaining here in the first. Right-handed dribble for Tejas. Tejas nearly throws the ball away, and it does turn over to Carson. Carson with the steal. Carson inside of the paint from low block left. Tejas gets the block. A second attempt, misses the shot, got the O board, got up with the shot, and now Devin Carson will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. 6'3", 170, sophomore out of Deer Valley. He is the leading scorer of LMC, trying to get his first points of the game. First free throw rattles out. 0 for 1 from the free throw line, only a 70% free throw shooter. A Bay Valley All-Conference All-Freshman Award winner last year. He is somebody that you've got to watch out for, and he's definitely going to be on the scouting reports. Second free throw, able to find the bottom of the net. So 1 point so far for the leading scorer for LMC on this season. And Carson, Vinny Hurtado comes back into the game. He replaces Ben Tejas. And Mo Wilson handling from the left wing. Hurtado having a dive just to keep that ball in line. And now Pardo pump fakes from 3. A deep 2-point shot. Keys way too strong on it. That was an air ball right into the hands of Ramon Bailey. And now J.J. Robertson from 14 feet out. Robertson has 4 points now. J.J. Robertson ties it up at 16 at the 13 minute mark. Lorenzo Pardo, a deep 3, too strong. One-handed rebound over to Marshawn Smith, and the turnaround jumper from inside the lane misses from about 10 feet out. Marshawn Smith unable to get the basket, and on the other side, Dungo with an acrobatic assist attempt, but instead, Onyendor turns that over. 16-all is still our score at the 13:56 minute mark. Some more defense played on both sides, a few turnovers on the Vikings, and a couple missed shots from LMC. Vinny Hurtado crosses the midcourt stripe at the 22-second mark, and Mo Wilson handles from the right wing. Looking to get a screen instead, denies the screen, steps into a 3-point shot, a little too strong. Offensive rebound by Marshawn, and he's blocked by Onyendor. Quickly down the floor, it's Carson. Carson turned away by Vinny Hurtado. Top of the key, J.J. Robertson pump fakes from 3, and a foul on a jumping Moselle Wilson. That'll be his first. Mo Wilson last game, 5 points, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds. He was a nice addition underneath the basket, and now he will take a break with 1 foul. Curry, Marshawn Smith, Elijah Keys, Pardo, And then checking in for his first playing time will be DJ Evans. Elijah Keys. Seems like he needs to sit down for some reason, and I think there were 6 men on the floor for the Vikings. So Keys sits down, and the same 5 that I just said are still on the floor. Dungo over to Carson. Carson working his way down the baseline. Misses the shot at the basket, but the whistle on the contact, I should say. This is the 4th foul on the Vikings and the first on Kai Curry. It'll send Devin Carson to the free throw line once more. Free throws up and good, and he's 2 for 3 now with 2 points. Vikings cannot keep playing this game in the similar fashion. You cannot keep fouling this team. They will go to the free throw line and they will knock him down in general. Missed the second rebound, offensive board, passes out for a 3-point shot. That was an offensive rebound by Onyandor and a missed 3 from Devin Carson. Like I was saying before, you cannot get this team to shoot from the line. They will knock down the majority of those shots. Right wing, it's a 3-pointer missed by DJ Evans and a rebound brought in by Ramon Bailey. Bailey running down the near sideline. He's defended by Marshawn Smith. Underhand shovel pass over the left wing. Doesn't take the 3 as Robertson. Robertson denied and passes back over to Dungo. Dungo with 17 seconds left on the shot clock will dribble with the right hand. Vinny Hurtado on the defensive assignment. Gets the switch with Pardo. Handoff back over to Robertson. Robertson with 10 seconds left. Robertson gets in the body of Kai Curry. Gets to the low block left. Throws up the jumper and he's good.
Number 1, J.J. Robertson.
J.J. Robertson having the scoring night for LMC early on. He's got 6 points, and that's a 3-point lead for LMC now at the 12:24-minute mark. Hurtado tattoo on the left forearm as he dribbles with the right. DJ Evans passes over to Curry alongside the right elbow, slips, and they're going to call this a foul against Robertson. I don't think that was actually a foul. I think it was mainly just a slip by Curry, but the Vikings will take it. That's only the second team foul on LMC. Finally, some substitutions here as an old friend of DVC comes in. Vinny Andrea, wore 21 for the Vikings, came in some spots as a big man for the Vikes last year. Also coming in, Hamza Najib. And a foul on the inbounds pass as well. LMC tried to lob it over to Devin Carson, but Devin Carson will be called for the foul. So instead of from the baseline, it'll be a sideline inbounds for Kai Curry. And they'll fling it over to Vinny Hurtado as Cole Webster comes to the scorer's table, I should say. A 2-3 zone. They try to get over to Marshawn Smith, and Marshawn Smith with the goggles finds Hurtado underneath the basket. Instead of taking the 15-footer, he found the point guard underneath the basket, left all alone, and that makes it a 1-point game. A slap to the face. Pardo got a little too physical on the jib, and Pardo picks up his first. Lorenzo Pardo with the first. That's the 5th on the Vikings, so 2 away from the single bonus at the 11:50 mark here of the first half of play. Some substitutions here. Marshawn Smith and Pardo take to the bench. In comes Cole Webster and Michael Wood. So a bigger look for the Vikings now, and a travel by Hamza Najib. A couple turnovers. This is unlike Los Medanos College in this early going. And the shot clock needs to be reset. They do that. So let's get a reset on the floor. Working right to left. It'll be the Vikings. And it's Kai Curry, Vinny Hurtado, I should say. I got confused with the other Vinny Andrea on the other team, a former Viking. DJ Evans is there with Michael Wood and Cole Webster. Those are the 5 on the floor for the Vikes. We'll give you LMC in just a moment. Michael Woods also already got 4 points, and he'll dribble between the legs, steps into a 3-point shot. Curls out, but LMC was out of position because the center took a 3. Offensive board goes back over to the Vikes. Hurtado to Cole Webster. Cole Webster gathers his dribble. The ball is knocked away. Cole Webster able to get a shot back. Webster inside of the paint. Turned over. Najib has it. Throws ahead. Left side of the basket over to Carson. Misses the point blank shot. Good defense by Kai Curry. And now Hurtado sprints down the floor. Left wing for Evans. Evans too strong off the hands of Vinny Hurtado. Wild ricochet. Stays in bounds over to the Vikings. And nearly a turnover, but Hurtado's able to get it. Wood inside of the paint. Wood tries to go up the reverse, but the 7-3 arms of Touche too much for him. A foul on the floor. Carson, another trip to the line, and that'll be the 6th on the Vikes.
No shot.
Devin Carson might only be a 69% free throw shooter, but man, he is really creative getting some of that contact. 6 fouls on the Vikings, and we'll get some substitutions across the board. In comes James Wong in replacement of Carson. It was not a shooting foul, so he does not need to wait to be rotated in. And in comes Redmond for Cole. Dungle from the right wing, passes over to Wong. Wong, top of the key, 3-point shot for Vinny Andrea. That's really what he's done so far this year. He's come in for some offense, and that's his 3rd 3-point shot of the year, making it 22-18. Michael Wood passes over to Ben Tejas, and Tejas checking back into this game, and he's still on fire. 11 points for number 11, 22-21. LMC leads the Vikings by 1 at the 10-12 mark. Underneath the basket, a left-hand shot off the board, and Touche Onyendor has 6. High scoring affair, nearly turning it over is Tejas, but able to pick it up at the last possible second. And gets the ball stolen away as Vinny Andrea picks up the steal. Right wing, Wong doesn't take the 3, instead defers back over to Dungo, and Dungo's 3-point shot is up and in. 40% 3-point shooter. He leads the team in 3-point percentage. And that makes it a 27-21 game here, under 10 minutes to play in the first half. Tejas trying to answer for the Vikings. A lot of the offense comes from Tejas. Redmond from alongside the right wing throws it back over to Tejas from the top of the key. He points to the middle of the floor, gets a screen from Wood. Left corner 3-point shot, too strong for Hurtado. Needs to get the shot off. The shot clock should not be reset. And that might be a turnover on Michael Wood. I don't think they're actually going to call a turnover. I think what's going to happen is that the Vikings will have to inbound it with a reset shot clock of about 2 seconds. So that gives the Vikings an opportunity to get a few different men inside the game. Mo Wilson will check in alongside Marshawn Smith with 3 seconds left in the shot clock, and it looks like Romeo Traylor will come in as well. Did not play the last game around. Romeo Traylor coming in with the knee brace. We saw the chaos that he brings in on defense last time. Right wing, it's a 3-point shot. Marshawn Smith unable to knock down the triple. Instead, it's a rebound by Najib, and Najib flings it to Dungo. And it's Wong for 3, and the 3-pointers are rating for LMC. The first 3 points of the game for James Wong, and it makes it a 9-point advantage just like that for LMC. 8:55 remaining. Mo Wilson and the Vikings need to score badly. Marshawn Smith, right wing, back over top of the key. It's to Ben Tejas. Mo Wilson doesn't take the 3, instead feeds inside. Wood lowers the shoulder, makes Onyendor fall to the ground. The ball goes out of bounds, but it looks like no harm, no foul. 9 seconds left on the shot clock, and a timeout taken on the floor. So the Vikings will inbound it with 9 seconds left on the shot clock on the other side of the break here. A 9-point lead for LMC after 3 back-to-back 3-point shots. Makes it 30-21 here at the 8:43-minute mark of the first half of play here on DVC Vikings Live. Back here at the DVC Palladium, it was a very closely contested game up to this point, but 3 back-to-back 3-point shots for LMC will force the Vikings in a must-score situation here. Lobbing over the top, it's over to Michael Wood. Ben Tejas has it with 7 seconds left. Mo Wilson, 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Tejas needs to get the shot off. Tejas pump fakes, heaves up a 3, and gets it off the glass.
Number 11, Ben Tejas.
14 points for Ben Ben Tejas as everything is going down from deep for Ben. Najib to Dungo. A three-point shot finally missed. Long arms rebounds by Onyendor, and another offensive board for LMC. Too wide right for, that was James Wong firing away from three, and the Vikings pushing down the floor. Mo Wilson, the heavy jump. Mo Wilson loses the shot, but a foul called on Touche Onyendor. That is his first. 30-24, our score here with 8:04 remaining in the first. Mo Wilson, a 70% free throw shooter, taking 2 shots from the line. Mo Wilson, quite the athlete. First free throw's up and good. He's got 1 point now in the evening. A football, track, and basketball player in high school over at Ignacio Valley. The first team all TCAL, second team all DVL defensive player. Comes to shoot 2 from the free throw line. Romeo Traylor will take a seat on the bench as Kai Curry comes back in the game. So it will be Tejas, Curry, Mo Wilson, who's on the free throw line right now, Marshawn Smith, and Michael Wood, as both of the free throws from Mo Wilson find the bottom of the net. 2 points for Wilson, and it's back to a 4-point game under 8 minutes to play. Vinny Andrea dribbling with the left hand, back over to Carson, who checks back into the game. A high weave goes to J.J. Robertson, right wing 3-point shot, and Najib for 3. 33-26. Marshawn Smith slashing down the lane. Dumps it off over to Wood. Wood misses the shot after it gets it blocked. And Vinny Andrea fighting inside gets the board. Still 33-26. Transition 3-point shot. Nothing but net for Ramon Bailey. He's got 5 points. Averages 15 points per game, and it's back to a 10-point lead. Double digits for the first time tonight for LMC. Vikings need an answer. Marshawn Smith, Mo Wilson, 15 seconds left on the shot clock. He'll take it back between the circles to reset the play. A 3-2 zone, I should say, currently. Loses the handle, falls to his knees. Tejas able to keep it. Mo Wilson for 3, no good. Offensive rebound, the putback, no good. Good activity by Marshawn Smith, but the Vikings need to get back on defense now. Able to get back on defense and a block. Number 11 blocks number 11 as Ben Tejas falls to the ground. And he's going to be called for a turnover. A terrific defensive play. Tejas blocking Najib, but as he was running down the near sideline, it looks like he turns the ball out of bounds. I thought it was going to be a push-off as Najib really laid some force into Tejas, but instead a turnover on the Vikes. Andrea from the 3-point line straight away doesn't take it. Instead, a rotation back around to J.J. Robertson. And a reach in on Mo Wilson. That'll be his second and the 7th on the Vikings at the 6:28-minute mark of the first half. That'll send LMC into the into the single bonus, I should say. And it sends a 67% free throw shooter to the line. And J.J. Robertson. Mo Wilson with the 2 fouls will take a seat as Lorenzo Pardo comes back into the game. Another late substitution. Marshawn Smith comes out for Cole Webster. So it's Webster alongside Pardo, Keys, Tejas, and Curry. And from the free throw line, it'll be J.J. Robertson with the first free throw attempt. Misses the first of the 1-and-1. So it's Robertson, Vinny Andrea alongside Bailey, Najib, and Carson. Those are the 5 on the floor for the Mustangs. Left elbow, Keys takes the 15-footer, and Keys with a nice little jumper from the left elbow, able to get his first points of the game. He's got 2. 8-point lead now for the Mustangs. It's Carson handing off to Andrea for 3, and the former Viking comes back into the Palladium, and he's 2 for 2 from beyond the arc now, extending the lead back to 11. An NBA 3-point range shot taken by Tejas. Offensive rebound goes over to Pardo. Cole Webster from 3, no good. Fighting inside, and the rebound goes over to Bailey. It seems like the three-point shots, if they're not taken by Tejas, are not going in. And now getting to the free throw line, the jumper missed by J.J. Robertson. A hectic affair as Curry driving to the basket, back over to Keys. Keys nearly turns it over. Pardo able to get the ball, and Pardo knocks down the shot. Pardo knocking down the mid-range jumper, and it's back to a one-possession game. Oleng the defender, and Hamza Najib. 6 points for him now. It's raining on the right side of the court. On the left side, if it's not Tejas, it's not dropping, unfortunately, for the Vikes. A 12-point lead for the Mustangs. Keys, cross-court pass over to Pardo, corrals it with one hand as he jumps high to get the ball. Doesn't take the three, instead rotation inside. Low block left, going inside a lane, and a nice hook shot inside for Cole Webster. 4 points for Webster, the 6'8" forward out of LA Premier Prep, and it's back to a 10-point game here at 4:45 remaining. J.J. Robertson back over to the left wing, an air ball this time around for Najib. He knocked down 2 3-pointers earlier, and now Curry is denied. He's doubled at the top of the key. Man-to-man across the board. And Elijah Keys with the throw out tonight. Usually has it in the braids. Passes over to Pardo. Vikings with 10 seconds left. Pardo has it from beyond the three-point line. An extended right wing jumper from Cole Webster, no good. Tip goes over to Keys, and Keys from point blank range, right outside of the restricted area. The tip from Curry, and the flip in from Keys. 8-point game, and a wild attempt down the floor for Devin Carson. Carson has not taken a shot attempt on the game, if I'm not mistaken. He's gone to the free throw line a few different times. That's the 8th foul on the Vikings at the 4-1-minute mark here. And Devin Carson, if you can't get a shot off, you make your work happen at the line. Tied 39th, averaging 70% free throw shooting is LMC. And the first free throw goes the way of Carson. He's got 3 of 4 now and 3 points.
Vincent Hurtado, also back in one, Marshawn Smith.
Marshawn Smith comes back in. He's with Keys, Pardo, Cole, and Vinny Hurtado. So a bigger lineup for the Vikings here. As Devin Carson is now 4 of 5. He's got 4 points for the man that averages 28 points per game. Back to a 10-point game here, under 4 minutes to play here in the first half in this high-scoring affair. Marshawn Smith will handle. The ball's tipped. Cole Webster able to get it off the ricochet. Cole Webster leading inside, double clutches. No good on the shot. The ball's still in the air. And then finally, Dungo able to get the corral. An 11-point game after the 2 free throws. Nearly turns it over, and Bailey finally does turn over. Marshawn Smith breaking away. The high step leaves it off the glass. And the ball will go back to the Vikings as it ricocheted off the arms of Vinny Andrea. That's what you want to see more of. Marshawn Smith, one of the most athletic players on the floor at any given time. And you want to see him be able to break free on the fast break. A good job by LMC, able to keep the defense with him, forcing a tough shot. 45-34, 33 remaining here in the first. Marshawn Smith left all alone, but instead a flip over to Keys. Black and white kicks, black on the left, white on the right for Elijah Keys tonight. Hurtado to Keys. Keys from the right elbow. He has Onyendor on top of him. Instead, Keys fires up a free throw line jumper and misses it. Rebound goes over to LMC. The lob over to Onyendor, misses it. Vinny Andrea, offensive rebound. Vinny Andrea gets the shot. And I don't think he got it to drop, but he will earn a trip to the line.
Elijah Keys, 32, his first.
Elijah Keys picks up his first.
For number 5, Vinny Andrea.
That's the 9th on the Vikings, so 1 away from the double bonus. First free throw for Vinny Andrea is good. He's got 7 points as his homecoming game. The sophomore from Heritage played his freshman year here at DVC. Webster and Smith out. In comes DJ Evans and Michael Wood. So those two alongside Keys, Pardo, and Vinny Hurtado. Second free throw good as well. Vinny Andrea, 2 for 2 from the line, and the 6'6" forward makes it 47-34. A 13-point lead for LMC. Vikings trying to close it down into single digits before the halftime break. Pardo throws it over to Wood. Wood, a bounce pass inside, turn around, right hand off the glass, too strong for Keys. Good opportunity underneath the basket, but Keys just a little too much muscle on that ball. The jib came back into the game, over to Dungo, and the left wing three from Dungo is true. 11 points by A.J. Dungo, the sophomore from Hercules, knocks down the triple. On the other side, a rattled three-point shot is missed. DJ Evans misses the shot, but Michael Wood inside to get his 6 points, got the O-board and got the shot. Trading 3 for 2s is not necessarily the game you really want to play. And a three-point shot coming from the waistline of Devin Carson is missed from deep. Instead, a rebound by the Vikings. Pardo able to get the ball before it goes out of bounds. 2 men on top of him, and the float game from Wood is too strong, but Keys is able to get the rebound. And I think you'll get a reset on the shot clock. I think there's a issue here. It should be 24 seconds instead of 14, so the official stops the play, and the Vikings will inbound it from the near-hand sideline.
Here comes number 11, Ben
Tejas, leading scorer for the Vikings with 14 in this early going. He'll replace Elijah Keys. Keys having a productive outing so far, averages 69% from the floor. Doesn't take too many shots, but when he does, they are typically finding the bottom of the net. DJ Evans, a couple three-point shots missed tonight, and the Vikings move it over to Ben Tejas as Tejas knocks down the 15-footer from the right elbow extended. It's a 12-point game here at the 146-minute mark. A.J. Dungo knocked down a 3 the last time he had the ball down on this side of the court, finds a cutting Bailey, and Bailey is met, but too much body contact by Michael Wood. Michael Wood picks up his first, and it will be a shooting foul, sending the Vikings, or pardon me, sending LMC into the double bonus as well at the 137 mark. Ramon Bailey going to line to shoot his first free throws of the game. First free throw for Bailey, and that gives him 6 points on the evening now. Coming off a double-double against Sacramento City College last time around, 13 points, 10 rebounds. And he'll line up for the second. Narrow stance, gets the flick of the wrist. And Ramon Bailey's got 7 points out of the 52 of LMC, 52-38. The Broncos leading their 4 CD rivals in this early going here at the DVC Palladium. Lorenzo Pardo, handoff over to Tejas. Tejas swings it back over to Pardo. Pump fakes from 3, over to Wood. Wood just outside of the restricted area, over to Evans for 3. Finds the bottom of the net that time around. Third time's the charm for number 31, DJ Evans. It's an 11-point game here with 1:07 remaining. Devin Carson, the 12-foot floater, or the 12-foot jumper, I should say, misses it from the right side of the lane. Vikings trying to get a score. Michael Wood doesn't take the 3. Instead, a better look for Pardo. Pardo swishes the triple. Lorenzo Pardo gets his first points of the game from beyond the arc, and it cuts it down to single digits here with 44 seconds remaining. Getting Pardo going is going to be a huge factor in this game going forward. And a block inside of the paint. Devin Carson instead goes to the line. I thought that was a clean block as Vinny Hurtado rotated around trying to get the block on the sophomore guard from Deer Valley, but instead it will send number 2 to the free throw line, going for his 6th and 7th free throws of this first half. 8-point lead for LMC, and the first free throw rattles out for Carson. 4 for 6 now. Vikings have done a good job really holding Devin Carson in check, averages 28 points per game. But after the second free throw finds the bottom of the net, he will only have 5 points, 5 for 7, all his points coming from the line. 53-44. Too many fouls on the Vikings still. Over 10 fouls and only 4 to LMC. They play a clean game, and we're seeing it so far. Michael Wood dribbles inside, loses the handles between the legs, able to get it back. Lorenzo Pardo, about a 5-second shot clock, game clock difference here as Pardo handles with the right hand. Right-handed dribble, spins around, 6 seconds left. 18-footer from the top of the key, misses the shot. Fighting for the rebounds, it's DJ Evans, but it's last touched off of Evans, and the ball will go back over to LMC. 9-point lead for the Mustangs here, and with 7.1 seconds remaining, they'll have one more opportunity to try to get a basket. Hurtado and Lorenzo Pardo. No, it's not. It's Benteas will check out, so it's Curry, Evans, Moselle Wilson alongside Wood and DJ Evans. Instead, Carson, a fadeaway three, wide left, hits the glass, and that sends us to the halftime break. 53-44, LMC came out gunning. It was a very high scoring affair throughout the first 20 minutes of play. The biggest difference has been the three-point shooting of LMC. They came out, they had a streak where they hit 3 back-to-back-to-back triples, and that extended their lead into double digits. The Vikings had to fight back a few different times to cut it back down to 9 points, and that leaves us with our 9-point score here at the halftime break, 53-44, and we'll be back on the other side of the break here on DVC Vikings Live. You don't want to hear me sing on the air. I love this song, but let's not get a karaoke session going on. That is not the strong suit here. So with 33 seconds remaining at the halftime break, we've got a 9-point game, 53-44. We'll go down the board telling you the scores. Number 1, J.J. Robertson has 6 points. Devin Carson has been held to 5 points despite the fact that he is a 28-point-per-game scorer. Ramon Bailey, number 4, has 7 points. Vinny Andrea, the former Vikings, got 8 points. AJ Dungo has 11 points. Alongside Hamza Najib, 6 points. Touche Oniendor has 6 points. And the last 3 points for LMC goes to James Wong. He's got 3, 1 single triple. On the other side for the Vikings, Marshawn Smith held scoreless in the first half of play, but he had some good activity, getting some great offensive rebounds. Kai Curry has 2 points, 2 fouls. Cole Webster, 4 points alongside 1 foul. Moselle Wilson, 2 points, 2 for 2 from the free throw line with 2 fouls. Pardo's got 5. Tejas has 16, leading the Vikings. 2 points for Vinny Hurtado, 6 points for Michael Wood, 3 points for DJ Evans, and 4 points for Elijah Keys. And that brings us to the floor. Wood gets the steal and a turnaround, so a turnover on LMC to start the game. And at halftime, this is what we're talking about. It's just all about perimeter defense. Cannot let LMC take any more 3-point shots. Michael Wood, a wide open Romeo Traylor misses the shot underneath. He was blocked, and now a foul on a shot attempt there. And they'll send Michael Wood to the free throw line. He shot 0 for 1 as he had an opportunity to get a 3-point play early on in this game. 5 on the floor for the Vikings. Working left to right now is Ben Tejas alongside Kai Curry, Vinny Hurtado, Romeo Traylor getting the start of the second half, the 6'4", 215 sophomore from Clayton Valley, and Michael Wood, who goes 1 for 2 from the free throw line, and the rebounds brought in by Oniendor. Far side over to Carson, swings it over to Bailey. Bailey firing a triple, no good, rebounded by number 2, Kai Curry. Man, he is athletic, flying high in the sky to get that rebound. Romeo Traylor working left to right, dribbles with the right hand, a handoff over to Vinny Hurtado, who will reset here between the circles with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Right-handed dribble, slashes straight to the cup, misses the shot, but another opportunity to shoot 2 free throws for the Vikings. 2 fouls on LMC within 1 minute of play here in the second half. Now let's get you the 5 on the floor for the Mustangs here. It's Carson, Oniendor alongside Robertson, Dungo, and Bailey. So the starters on the floor for LMC, and the first free throw for Hurtado, nothing but net. Vinny Hurtado, 1 for 1 from the free throw line now. And the second free throw rattles out the long arms of Oniendor, able to get the defensive rebound. And now Dungo sprinting down the far side of the floor. Working right to left, the drop off over to Oniendor, misses the shot, gets his own rebound, flings it over to the right wing. Carson doesn't take the 3. Instead, another foul. Michael Wood picks up the foul. That'll be his first. That's good to see, as Michael Wood has been a little bit in foul trouble early on in the season. But what is not good is sending Carson to the line once more. 7 free throw attempts already for Devin Carson. The Vikings have not given him a shot opportunity from the floor. And the first free throw of this set is good. He's got 6 points, 6 for 8. Devin Carson, man, just getting all the work done from the stripe, coming off his 26-point performance last game, and he misses the second attempt. He's held 6 for 9. Hurtado hands off over to Curry, and now Tejas slashing down the left side of the wing. Some contact, no call, but Ben Tejas gets the bucket to go. 18 points from Tejas, and it's a 54-48 game. A missed shot on the other side of the basket by Bailey, gets his own rebound. Wood fighting for the ball, has it thrown off of Bailey, and then the Vikings finally able to come away with the steal. Ben Tejas has the ball stolen away. It was read perfectly by Dungo. Dungo right side of the glass. The layup is in, and it's still an 8-point game. Dungo has 13, and man, he just read those eyes perfectly. Ben Tejas clapped for the ball. Hurtado saw that, and everybody else on the floor saw that as well. Michael Wood, trapped between 3 different defenders, goes up with a wild shot attempt, and he'll get another trip to the free throw line. Fouls on fouls on fouls. 3 different fouls within the first 2 minutes of play for LMC, and this is a very good sign for the Vikings. Forcing LMC into an undisciplined, sloppy game and getting your points, earning it from the stripe. Vikings need to knock down the free throws. 89th in the 3C2A out of 102 teams, only shooting 61% from the free throw line, but Michael Wood has 8 points now as he's able to knock down the first. 2 for 4, and he goes 3 for 5 now. Michael Wood knocking on the door of a double-digit scoring performance, and it's back to his 6-point game. Romeo Traylor gets the double with Vinny Andrea as Dungo brings it up the floor. And Dungo, a low pass over to Robertson, finding a cutting Carson. Carson loses the ball. The ball's on the ground. It's picked up by Curry. Curry sprints down the floor. Right side of the lane, goes up, double clutches off the glass. Kai Curry's got 4. A terrific coast-to-coast play by Kai Curry. Right-handed shove by Carson, and Carson, I'm not sure where the foul is going to be. I think that's going to be an offensive foul.
TBC, team foul number 2.
No, it's the second team foul against the Vikings. I don't believe that. That'll be the 3rd on Curry.
For the Vikes, it's 3-2. Elijah Keys.
Elijah Keys, number 32, comes back into the game, replacing Michael Wood. Wood with a nice showing, 9 points throughout about 23 minutes of play. Romeo Traylor gets a much-deserved rest. He was very good on defense there for the Vikings as Cole Webster comes in. Right side baseline inbounds. It's Dungo. Back over to Bailey. Bailey, a right-hand loop shot, and Bailey's got 9 points. What a terrific shot. Went full 360 with the hook shot, and he makes it 58-52. Curry with 3 fouls will stay in the game. He'll run this unit for the Vikings, letting Vinny Hurtado run off the ball. A nice screen, a drop off over to Cole, and Cole fights through the contact and gets the finish. Cole Webster, 6 points, make it a 4-point game, and the Vikings are fighting back here in the second half. A crossover by Dungo. Dungo to a wide open Oniendo. And Oniendo, man, he is just living under the basket rent-free. Vikings need to cover him up. Nearly a turnover by Curry, but Tay is able to save it. Webster from 18 feet out. A little too short on the baseline. Rebounded by Robertson. Sprinting right to left. Robertson doesn't take the 3. Instead, a jump inside the floater from 12 feet out. And a nice finish makes it an 8-point game once more. Baseline jumper missed. With the foul on the floor, wow, I don't believe this. They didn't let the shot go. They're going to say the foul underneath the basket by Elijah Keys is going to wipe off the good basket from Cole Webster.
Foul is on.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, they gave the basket and they gave the foul on Keys after, so Keys has 2 now. 16 remaining. Marshawn Smith comes in for the first time in the second half. And for the Vikings, it'll be Hurtado, Tejas alongside Curry, Michael Wood, and Marshawn Smith.
Foul was called on 32, Elijah Keys.
And on the other side, the starters still on the floor for LMC. They played the lion's share of the minutes here. And the Vikings doing a good job not allowing some 3-point shots to fly from the Mustangs here in the second half. A.J. Dungo, a bounce over to Robertson. Robertson doesn't take the 3. Instead, he drives inside of the paint, goes up for the 12-foot jumper, and he's got 10 points into double digits for J.J. Robertson. Tejas with a wild handle, and they will call him for the double dribble. Mo Wilson and Pardo come back into the game for the Vikings. Cole Webster and Vinny Hurtado will take a seat on the bench. And a rotation here as well as LMC's coaches are screaming. They're trying to get Vinny Andrea back into the game. So we'll get to a setup in just a moment as a technical was called against LMC. The over-the-top activity from the coaches of LMC will give the Vikings an opportunity to the free throw line.
Ramon Bailey, number 4, his second.
Ramon Bailey will actually be the one that picks up the technical. And that'll be his second foul, I should say, not second technical. So Lorenzo Pardo will line up at the free throw line to shoot the technical. 8-point lead for LMC, and the first free throw rattles in by Lorenzo Pardo. This will be a two-shot technical.
Makes the first, has the second of the technical.
So has the second of the technical coming up. And Lorenzo Pardo, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He's got 7 points now, averaging 9 points per game. And the ball will stay with LMC after the technical. So Vinny Andrea replaces Ramon Bailey, but the starters will stay in outside of that. Dribbling through a double team as Dungo flips into the right side of the paint. And Devin Carson, after about 25 minutes of play, finally gets his first field goal to drop. He's got 8 points. Kai Curry seemingly floating through the air as Pardo tries to come in and save the wild ball, but the errant pass by Curry will turn into a turnover on Pardo. 8 points now. The lead for LMC. Yeah, the athleticism of Curry is, I mean, you talk about Marshawn Smith athleticism, but man, he floats when Curry jumps. Devin Carson with the ball alongside the right wing. Feed inside to the big man. He was blocked, but the offensive rebound to the Karen goes over to Onyendor. A wild pass by Onyendor, picked off by Pardo. Pardo trying to go to the other side of the basket. The wild shot, misses it, but an offensive rebound by Marshawn Smith as he leaves it short. Still 8 points. I'm surprised you didn't see a goaltend on Onyendor there. Moselle Wilson playing the defense on Robertson. Back over to Vinny Andrea. Gets inside, loses his dribble, needs to get the ball off. Pivot foot shifts for a moment, but instead a handoff just in time over to Dungo. Dungo spins around. Dungo leaves the big man lying all alone, and Michael Wood cannot keep up with the quick legs of the 165 sophomore guard out of Hercules. He's got 5 points now, and it makes it back into a 10-point game. A 1 point advantage here in the second half for LMC at the 14:30-minute mark of the second half of play. A screen from Marshawn Smith, doubling on the ball is Pardo. The ball's still on the ground, and we'll likely see a jump ball. Jump ball possession arrow stays with the Vikings as Pardo fought hard alongside A.J. Dungo. Curry checks out. In comes DJ Evans. Not a lot of the playing time last game. Only played a few different minutes, but in this game, he's gotten about 6, 7, 8 minutes so far, so a lot more playing time here from the sophomore from Broadman, Ohio. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Moselle Wilson, 12 feet out, too strong. Offensive rebound by Michael Wood, and a 3-point shot for Evans. No good. Ball still tipped in the air. Ball still loose. Tipped up. Pardo gets it off the ricochet. A wide open Smith bounces over to Moselle Wilson, and Wilson with the basket and the foul. LMC, too much contact. After the hectic play, the Vikings able to capitalize it with the little big man, Moselle Wilson. Only 5'11", 175, but man, he has really been benefiting from some of those drop-off passes underneath the post. The and one is good. Moselle Wilson's got 5 points now. He's 3 for 3 from the free throw line, and the last foul will be the third on Onyendor. Vikings setting up a full court press here. 2 seconds left to break the line. Able to do so at 21 seconds. It's over to Dungo. Dungo nearly turns it over. And I believe this will be a foul on DVC. The 4th team foul on DVC at this point.
Number 4, Moselle Wilson.
Moselle Wilson picks up his 3rd. You got to take the good with the bad in that situation. Wilson with a nice basket underneath, but now he picks up another foul. Nearly a reaching, but instead J.J. Robertson gets to the low block right, and Robertson's got 12 points. At a season average of 12.1 points per game, and a timeout taken by Irv Anderson and company. So we're still locked up at 9 after about 6.5 minutes of play here in the second half of play, and we'll send it a break. 70-61, LMC leads the Vikings, and this 4CD rivalry here on DVC Vikings Live. Marshawn Smith to inbound it from the far sideline. He gets it over to Wood. And now it's Wilson, Marshawn Smith, Wood, Pardo, and the last man for the Vikings is Evans. A 3-2 zone for LMC here as Pardo loses the handle, dives on the ground to get it back, and it goes over to the hands of Moselle Wilson, but it goes behind the midline stripe, and the Vikings with another turnover. 5 fouls on LMC, 4 fouls on the Viking here in this early going, and a turnover on Moselle Wilson after an errant handle from Pardo. So Wilson and Pardo will take a seat. Vinny Hurtado alongside Ben Tejas into the game. A lot of playing time for the starters with Dungle. The ball's poked away from Vinny Andrea, and Vinny Andrea able to get the ball in the backcourt with 11 seconds left on the shot clock. J.J. Robertson getting a screen from his big man. From the top of the key, the 19-foot J, and that's good. The bucket for J.J. Robertson. And the Vikings need a score to cut it back down to single digits. A strong post play inside. Michael Wood with the turnaround. And he gets the wide open bucket underneath the basket after making Onyendor fall to his rear end. A 9-point game now. Marshawn Smith with the rebound after a missed 3-point shot. Loses the handle, fighting for it, able to keep it in bounds. And now a straightaway 3. That's good. Ben Tejas, a triple after the assist from Marshawn Smith. And we're back to a 6-point game here at the 12:30 mark of the second half. Vikings fighting back in this last sequence. And we'll be back on the other side of the break here on DVC Vikings Live. .12:30 remaining here. Vikings cut the lead down to 6. Good hands and good footwork by Marshawn Smith. We're able to keep that ball in bounds and then find a wide open Ben Tejas for a triple. Vikings bringing the pressure here. 27 seconds left as Najib able to cross the timeline, loses the handle, and a shove. DJ Evans will pick up the foul. Irv Anderson irate. He did not like that call. That's the 15th foul, 5 on both sides. DJ Evans picks up his first. And now inbounding it will be Najib. Najib from the sideline. He's joined alongside Vinny Andrea with Onyendor, Robertson, and Dungle. Dungle, the point guard of this team, playing a hefty amount of minutes here as he works with the defense. Gets the switch on Wood. Left side of the paint, loses the ball. No travel called there. The ball still on the ground. And a nice play by Michael Wood. Able to get the ball. Knew he touched it last, so he couldn't pick it up on the second attempt. And the Vikings with some good defense able to get the steal. 6-point lead. Left wing 3. Too strong for Evans. Rebound by Vinny Andrea, the former Viking, and now running down the far side of the floor is Robertson. Robertson pulls up, transition jumper, and man, he's found some money on that transition jumper so far here. He stops at 15, 18 feet out. It doesn't matter. He is been a walking bucket in this game so far. The leading scorer for LMC with 16. Turnover by Vinny Hurtado. It goes into the hands of Najib. Najib to Robertson. Robertson, left wing, no good. Deep 3, rebounded by Marshawn Smith, and the Vikings down the floor. Smith cutting down the left side of the wing. Smith with the acrobatic attempt, and the foul be called. That's the 4th on Touche Onyendor. Curry to the scorer's table to check in, and Marshawn Smith to the free throw line. Smith trying to get his first points of the game here. It's an 8-point lead for LMC. A right-handed dribble, sets up, gets to his tippy toes as Marshawn Smith with the form gets his first free throw.
Curry.
Curry will check in, replacing DJ Evans. He's got 3 fouls, and another replacement by LMC. Onyendor is going to have to sit with 4 fouls. In comes Ramon Bailey. So it's Bailey Robertson. Second free throw up and good. 2 for 2 from the free throw line for Marshawn Smith, and it's back to a 6-point game. Dungo is in there alongside Robertson, Najib, and Vinny Andrea. Vikings pressure, forcing 8 seconds off the clock, but they don't get back on defense in time. A wide open shot underneath the basket by Najib, but an offensive rebound and a foul and a bucket. Ramon Bailey got the O board. A nice block by Michael Wood, but he'll pick up his first foul, or maybe second foul, I believe. And the good basket and the and one for Ramon Bailey. Bailey's got 11. He leads the team in steals with 15, but he's been getting it done on the offensive side of the floor. Vinny Hurtado checks out. In comes Romeo Traylor. And now trying to cross the tee on the 3-point play. Able to do so. 3 for 3 from the line. He's got 12 points, and he brings the lead back up to 9. Curry between the circles. He's defended by Devin Carson. Gets a screen. Kicks it out to the corner. The flick of the wrist. We'll call that one a lob as Michael Wood gets it. Misses the first shot. And Michael Wood's got 12 points after getting the O board and the putback. Lob inside. And the Vikings playing the defense. Right corner for Robertson. Robertson, 15-footer from the baseline. Misses the shot. Rebounded by Curry. Curry with the 2-on-1. And Curry loses the handle. AJ Dungo with a brilliant steal on the play. And the Vikings setting up a trap. Shot clock didn't reset here. We might see a stoppage in the play to get that reset. A right corner 3-point shot. Vinny Andrea unable to get the rebound. Sorry, unable to get the shot to drop. Romeo Traylor got the long rebound and he was tied up. Possession error will go to LMC.
On the tie-up possession this time, LMC.
So Vinny Andrea from the right side of the baseline will inbound it, and he finds Robertson. Dungo from the right wing. A wild pass, but it's a thread through a few different defenders. Romeo Traylor will pick up the foul, and the basket is up and good for J.J. Robertson. He's got 8 points, and he gets fouled in the process as well, so he'll get a trip to the free throw line once more.
One shot for J.J. Robertson.
Marshawn Smith checks out. A.J. Cole comes back in. And now trying to make it a 10-point game is J.J. Robertson. Leading scorer of the game, Ben Tays with 21 points. J.J. Robertson closely behind with 19. If I'm not mistaken, that might actually been his first free throw attempt of the game. He's been getting it done from the floor. Under 10 minutes to play here. Vikings trail by 10. Between the legs dribble. Curry over to Traylor. Traylor feeds free throw line over to Wood. Wood misses the shot. Another putback for Michael Wood. Padding the stats, that's what I'll call that. 2 offensive rebounds on 2 missed shot attempts and 2 putbacks from Mr. Wood. Carson handling with the ball, flings it over to Robertson. Robertson with the crossover, the long left-handed shot, rebounded by Traylor. Vikings push ahead. Curry, free throw line over to Traylor. Traylor drops it off to Cole. And the left corner, of course that one goes in. A wide open shot. You give Benitez any sort of breathing room, and he will knock it down. 5-point lead for the Mustangs, and the Vikings are fighting back. Under 9 minutes to play. Bailey, step back, no good. One-handed rebound by Cole Webster. Webster has the ball turned over, and another steal by Dungo. Dungo with the jailbreak, and Dungo will force a timeout out of the pockets of DVC. 17 points for A.J. Dungo, the sophomore guard from Hercules. And just when the Vikings start to get a little momentum, LMC steals it right back here. A battle here at the Palladium, 82-75 with 8:50 remaining here in the second half on DVC Vikings Live. Cole Webster with the turnover, and AJ Dungo. No official stats on steals tonight. We'll get that after the fact, but I believe that's the 4th or 5th steal from the sophomore guard from Hercules. He's been a menace on-ball defender tonight. Vikings will inbound it. 5 on the floor for the Vikes will be Romeo Traylor, Kai Curry, Michael Wood, Ben Tejas, and Moselle Wilson. On the other side, we'll give it to you in just a moment. Ben Tejas having a splash of breathing room. Instead, he feeds the big inside, and Michael Wood goes to the free throw line once more. Michael Wood has been a very nice scorer for the Vikings, with everybody else aside from Ben Tejas underneath essentially 6 points. Michael Wood, the secondary scorer tonight, coming off a 2-point performance. He's got 14, and he'll go to the line trying to get 2 more. 5 on the floor for LMC. JJ Robertson, he'll be joined by AJ Dungo. Vinny Andrea getting some playing time still, former Viking, and he's with Devin Carson and Ramon Bailey. First free throw up and good for Michael Wood. Wood misses the second attempt though. He's 5 for 7 from the line, the big man from Las Lomas. And almost getting a block, but a very nifty finish by AJ Dungo. He's got 19 now, second leading scorer alongside Robertson. And we're continually having some issues with the shot clock, and we got another stoppage in play to get that one fixed up. 8-point game as Lorenzo Pardo comes to the scorer's table. He will replace Ben Tejas, so he needs some scoring coming from Lorenzo Pardo. He doesn't shoot that much this year, but when he does have an opportunity, he'll knock down the deep ball. You got to get some production out of your second best scorer in Lorenzo Pardo. 8-point game here as Curry dribbles between the legs. 13 seconds left in the shot clock as he passes to Pardo. Pardo stepping up. 7 seconds left in the shot clock. Left wing, it's Curry. Curry from 14. Misses the shot. Ramon Bailey with the rebound. Quickly up the floor, JJ Robertson. Transition 3-point shot for Dungo. Wood fighting for the rebound. A hard contest by Bailey, but Wood able to break free with the ball. Curry to Pardo. Pardo, a deep 3, no good. Rebounded by Wood. 4th offensive rebound by Wood. Traylor jumps inside. Traylor gets past his former teammate, and Traylor gets his first points of the game over Vinny Andrea. 6-point game. A loose handle by Robertson. Fortunately goes over to Vinny Andrea. Stops between the top of the key. And now flip back over to Carson. Carson from the left wing. He's defended by the other number 2, Curry. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. A deep 3-point shot rattles out for Ramon Bailey. Rebounded in by the Vikings and Traylor. Vikings need to score badly here. Trying to cut it down inside of 5 points. Smallest margin of the second half has been 4. Trying to tie that one up. Pardo with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Moselle Wilson off to his left hip. Gets the ball. Traylor. Opportunity to take a 3, doesn't take it, 10 seconds left. Fed over to the left wing, over to Michael Wood, and now Pardo a straightaway 3, curls out, rebounded by Robertson. Pardo's got to hit those shots, man. You've seen it so many times throughout last season in the early going of this one, but cold so far tonight once more. Andrea answering with the 3 of his own. Side of the iron miss, offensive rebound by LMC. Another rebound by Bailey, and Bailey with 2 offensive rebounds gets the basket to go. Fills the cup and earns another trip to the line. Romeo Traylor picks up his second, and 14 points for Bailey, trying to get to 15. Ben Tejas comes back into the game at the 6:27-minute mark here.
Responding, here comes 14.
And Touche Onyendor coming back with 4 fouls for LMC. Vinny Andrea with some productive minutes here. And the starters are back on the floor for LMC. It's Bailey who's at the free throw line alongside Robertson. Makes the first free throw as Bailey. He's got 15 points now, 4 for 4 from the line, but let me get you a reset. It's Onyendor alongside Bailey, Carson, Robertson, and Dungo, the 5 on the floor. For the Vikings, it'll be Romeo Traylor, Ben Tejas, Kai Curry, Lorenzo Pardo, and Michael Wood. The floater inside, wanted a call but didn't get it, was Ben Tejas. Vikings able to get back in transition. Dungo flings over to the right corner. And you can't leave JJ Robertson alone. JJ with 22 points after knocking down the triple. Romeo Trailer trying to answer his own. Wide left. Went off the backboard. Didn't even hit the iron. And it's back to a 12-point lead for LMC with 5:40 remaining here. Crossover. Dungo. Floater. Gets the shot to rattle out. I thought that one was going in, but instead a rebound by Wood, and Curry just dribbling between trees. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Vikings with the 12-point deficit. 3 men at the scorer's table. As Ben Tejas steps back, doesn't take the three. Instead, it's Curry. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Feeds over to his big, inside of the post. Left hand instead goes underneath, and Michael Wood inside of the restricted area. He's been getting his way against Touche Onyendor. Michael Wood with 17 points. Been a big presence inside. Robertson passes over to Bailey, and on the other side, Touche and able to get a similar type of shot. Puts it down with the two-handed jam, and at the 4:43 minute mark, it's still a 12-point game. Vikings cut it down to 5 as Michael Wood nearly turns the ball over. Instead, he'll dribble straight to the hoop. The contact, and another trip to the line as Bailey went up trying to get the block. He'll pick up his 3rd foul, and Michael Wood trying to slow down the pace just a little bit and get some points without the clock dribbling down. So at this point, you've got to factor in how many possessions you'll have for the rest of the game. Down 12 points at the 4:33 minute mark. And Michael Wood trying to get to 19 points if he can knock down these 2 free throws. First one curls out.
For DVC, it's one, Marshawn Smith.
5 for 8, 4 for 8.
Vincent Hurtado.
Correction. And Michael Wood trying to get above 50% once more. Romeo Trailer taking a seat. Vinny Hurtado, Marshawn Smith, Lorenzo Pardo, Ben Tejas, Michael Wood able to knock down the second of the free throws, splits the pair. He's got 18 points. And Elijah Keys, the final man to check in. He'll replace Michael Wood after the free throw attempt. Vikings, for the majority of this half, have put on a 3/4 court press. 4:26 remaining. Needs to get the ball up, able to do so with 1 second left. Gets it over to Bailey. Bailey doesn't take the 15-footer, instead keeps his pivot foot on the ground, finds Carson. Carson from low block right. Carson! Only the second basket of the game. The man that scores 28 only has 10, but I don't think you mind when you're up 13 here with 4:06 remaining. Lorenzo Pardo has the ball. Marshawn Smith doesn't step into the three, instead a spin around. Back over to Tejas. Tejas driving down. Double clutches, and Tejas fills the cup. 26 points for Tejas coming off that 31-point performance. It's an 11-point game now. Marshawn Smith, heavy ball pressure against JJ Robertson, and a little too heavy as the foul will go against Smith on the reach-in. It'll send JJ Robertson to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. 8 fouls against LMC, 9 fouls against the Vikings. 1 foul away from the double bonus for LMC. So the 1-and-1 opportunity now for the 67% free throw shooter in JJ Robertson. First one's good. You give him the opportunity to shoot the second. 23 points now for JJ Robertson. Second leading scorer of the game behind Tejas. Second free throw up and good as well. 24 points for JJ Robertson, 3 for 3 from the line. It's a 13-point game at the 35 minute mark. Vikings need points in bunches quickly now. And Lorenzo Pardo will pass over to Smith. Smith with the drop off to Keys, and Keys gets has 6 points now. Back to an 11-point game. Vikings need to force turnovers and get baskets really quickly in this situation. A 3-point shot by Carson, and that triple by Carson is going to be a very hefty task to get past. 14-point game now. Vikings did well to cut it all the way back down to 5 as Pardo answers with a 15-footer, no good. Offensive rebound by Keys, the turnaround, and Elijah Keys has the last 4 points for the Vikings here. This one coming off an offensive rebound. He's a terrific offensive rebounder for this Vikes team, as AJ Dungo knows he can use as much clock as possible inside of 3 minutes to play. And this 12-point lead for LMC. Dungo, the lob, the two-handed jam, Touche Onyendor. The last two buckets have been explosive jams from lobs, and the LMC fans love it here. 220, Keys has it, driving the baseline, spins around, passes over to Tejas. Ben Tejas, a spin, a 15-footer, misses the mid-range jump shot. Onyendor with another rebound. Ever since he got put back into the game at about the 8-minute mark with 4 fouls, he's played a clean half of basketball. Under 15 seconds left in the shot clock, under 2 minutes to play here. And LMC breaking the century mark, 101 points scored by the Mustangs to the 87 of the Vikings. 4 seconds left, heaves a three. Robertson misses the shot, but uses 27 seconds off the play clock. And Pardo driving to the basket, can't get the shot to fall, but instead, 2 opportunities at the free throw line.
Third personal, J.J. Robertson, number 1.
Robertson picks up his third.
At the stripe,
And it's still a 14-point game. Vikings need to spring a full court press off these free throws and need to get into the double bonus if they want a chance of somehow coming back in this uphill battle. Lorenzo Pardo, 8 points now, 3 for 3 from the free throw line, and some substitutions for the Vikings as Curry's comes back in with Romeo Traylor, Keys, Michael Wood, and Lorenzo Pardo on the floor. So I think you're going to see a lot of offense or defense substitutions on this late going. Curls out, Michael Wood tips the rebound, but Onyendor gets the defensive board. Vikings trying to spring the press here. 4 seconds to cross the timeline. Bailey able to do so with Dungo at the 1 second mark. 21 seconds on the clock when they cross. Pardo's gonna need to reach in, try to get a stop here. Devin Carson, baseline, doesn't take the shot. JJ Robertson keeps running down the clock inside of 6 seconds. And he draws the foul as well. DVC with the 10th team foul, but at this point, it seems to be
Foul charge to 2.
already written in the direction of LMC.
We got a timeout on the court.
A timeout on the floor, and we'll take the timeout as well. 101-88 the score here with 1:11 remaining here. LMC coming out. And after a very tightly contested game, the Vikings just trying to do as much damage control as possible here at DVC Vikings Live.
It's a Saturday at 5 p.m.
101-88 the score. Jalen Robertson, J.J. Robertson, going to the free throw line, trying to take the leading score mark of the game. Current leader Ben Tejas for the Vikings has 26. And if Robertson is able to knock down these two, he'll tie him. First free throw, up and in. 25 points now for J.J. Robertson. Go for the second. J.J. Robertson, a very strong showing as he is able to tie Ben Tejas. He's got 26 points. The main score to look at was Carson, but instead J.J. Robertson has taken that title. Right elbow jumper, missed, offensive rebound by Traylor, and Traylor goes up and gets the putback at the 59-second mark here. 13-point game here. J.J. Robertson crosses the timeline, and the Vikings need a foul here. Pardo doesn't get the foul in time. It's a reach in, but a timeout beforehand by Dominicelli. Derek Dominicelli, the 22-year head coach at LMC. It's been a staple here. Bunch of longtime head coaches here in the 4CD. Contra Costas as head coach has been there for, over a decade now. We got Dominicelli, who's been there for 22 years. And the young buck in Irv Anderson, only his 4th year here with the Vikings now after the long historic career of Steve Cochimilio. He's the name on the court. And so with 49.4 seconds left, let's give you some numbers from across the board. Leading scores for LMC, 25 points for J.J. Robertson. He's joined alongside 13 points for Devin Carson, 15 points for Ramon Bailey, 8 points for Vinny Andrea, the former Viking. A.J. Dungo having a terrific night as well with 19 points, but a few different steals that put the Vikings in a very tough situation. 6 points for Hamza Najib, alongside the 12 points from Onyendor, and then the last 3 were from James Wong. On the other side, Traylor has 4, Smith has 2, Curry has 4, 6 points for Webster, 5 points for Moselle Wilson, 8 points for Pardo, 26 points for Tellez, alongside 3 points for Vinny Hurtado, and 18 points with a terrific night for the center, Michael Wood, 3 points by Evans, and 8 points on Keys. Carson throws it over to Vinny Andrea, loses the handle in midair, throws it right between the legs of Kai Curry, and the ball still on the ground. And I believe you'll get a jump ball. Possession arrows should favor the Vikings. Vinny Andrea just got really lucky on that nutmeg there. He was flying through the sky, threw the ball right into the directions of Kai Curry, but ended up turning into a nutmeg. So a stoppage in the action here. I think maybe a timeout taken by LMC instead of a jump ball. It even surprised the DJs. They didn't put any music up there. We'll keep it here. Talk about some of the action going on. So the Vikings, fouling is an issue that the Vikings have had in the last 3 games up to this point now. Vikings had 25 fouls versus Solana College, 22 fouls against CCC. And in this late going, over 20 fouls in this one as well. So the Vikings need to do better to clean the ball up and then also clean it up in terms of the handling battle. Coming into this game, 16.5 turnovers a game to only 13 assists per game. That's 63rd ranked in the 3C2A against a team that, honestly, you got to talk about the good with the bad. DVC did a terrific job forcing a lot of turnovers from LMC. They only averaged 8.4 per game, and they forced, probably over that number up to this point. They forced a gritty game out of LMC, but LMC just able to knock down a lot of different triples early on in the game to build the lead. The lead, and a turnover now by LMC, leading 13 at the 43.8 second mark. And the Vikings will play this one tough to the very end. Lorenzo Pardo and Ben Tellez will come back into the game, replacing Curry and I think a miscommunication across the board there, so it will be Romeo Traylor checking out. So Tellez with the terrific night, back-to-back for the Vikings. Kai Curry will pick the ball up at the 42-second mark, and he'll run right down the floor. A 14-foot jumper from between the lane, and Curry's got 6 points now, cutting the lead to 11 for LMC. Vikings spring the press. Cole Webster gets the turnover. Tellez with the 3, and Tellez knocks down the triple. Tellez with the 29-point performance, under 30 seconds to play here. It's back to an 8-point game and a turnover. The Vikings don't know when to quit, and LMC is putting them back in an opportunity to fight back into this game. J.J. Robinson turns the ball over on the sideline. Lorenzo Pardo will inbound it from there. 24 seconds left. It's still going to be a miracle if the Vikings can come back in this one, but they're fighting hard. Ben Tellez spins around from outside of the arc. Ben Tellez right side off the glass. Ben Tellez, 31 points back-to-back games. Vikings trying to get a turnover here. Carson nearly turns it over, but Dungo able to save it. And a foul on Michael Wood. No, a timeout instead. This one's coming down to the wire. It's a 5-point game with under 13 seconds to play here at the Palladium. It seemed like it was only written nearly 30 seconds of gameplay ago, but the Vikings don't know when to quit, and that's what you gotta love. We'll get a substitution after a break, and we'll finally take a break here on DVC Vikings Live 103.97. 103-97 our score here. The Vikings have scored quickly in a short amount of time. And now 94 feet away from the basket. They're gonna have to force a turnover to have any chance of coming back. Cole Webster in front of Dungo. Dungo the trigger left side. Able to throw it into Robertson, and nearly a steal from the Vikings. On the overplay, it was Curry reaching forward. About 1.6 seconds burn off the clock before the ball's ricocheted back out of bounds. And now from the corner, it'll be A.J. Dungo once more. Dungo drops the ball on the ground. And he'll try to get inbounds, able to do so over to Carson. Carson needs to be fouled quickly here. Vikings not able to foul until the 7.9 second mark, I should say. Devin Carson to the free throw line. He's fouled by Curry. Curry's fourth foul. And so the Vikings will set up 3 men in the front court. Ben Tejas will check back into the game for the Vikings for some more defense for offense substitutions, and Devin Carson will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. 9 free throws already on the evening. The 10th free throw, able to fill the cup. 7 for 10 now for the leading scorer on the season for the Mustangs. Misses the second one. Defensive rebound by Traylor. 6 seconds left. Traylor needs to sprint down the floor. Traylor is going to run inside, get one last bucket, possibly a drop off over Webster, and the Vikings unable to really even get a clean shot off. I mean, in that situation, not much hope, but still would like to see a little bit better execution at the end of it. So the Vikings drop to 2-5, 1-2 at home after some tough matchups versus some 4 CD rivals. And this one is going to be something you're going to look back on and learn a lot from. A lot of good, but unfortunately a lot of bad as well. Irv Anderson going to rally the troops as they look to come back against Skyline College. So a very good team in Skyline College. They'll go at Skyline on 12-2 before returning home against Las Positas College. That'll be a Saturday, 12-9. On the other side, the Mustangs advance to 5-3 after a second place finish in the Mendocino Invitational, losing to 25th ranked Sac City. They break the century mark, scoring 104 points to the 97 of the Vikings, and they will take on Gilvan on 12-1. So the next broadcast here on our airwaves will be this Friday, or let me see, I believe it's this Friday, as some clerical errors will be eventually settled out. And it looked like the game with the women's basketball team against Merritt College should have been at Merritt College, but because of these clerical errors, we're actually going to be hosting at home. Merritt thought we were hosting, and on paper, on everywhere, we had Merritt College hosting. So fortunately for us, we're going to see the women's basketball team for the first time. They're a fun team, currently at 3-1, coming off their first loss to a top 25 ranked team in Chabot. And we're going to have their first game live on the airways here on DVC Vikings Live. That'll be a 5:30 tip-off, I believe, on Friday, December 1st. So we'll get you some more information. Make sure to check out dvcvikings.com to get up to date on all Vikings athletics. But until next time, another tough performance from the men's basketball team here, dropping to 2-5 on the year. A lot to learn from in this one. There's a lot of good, but just a team that needs to continue to fight, continue to put things together, and really put their best foot forward on a consistent basis. Irv Anderson drops to 34-30 overall. But, yep, and the loss for the Vikings, that's their second straight, and they'll try to turn around at Skyline on 12-2. But until next time, it's been a pleasure having you all. Thank you to Ryan Schell running our production computer tonight. Brian Crow up in the crow's nest handling our camera. My name's Max Agrest, bringing the action of Vikings athletics all year long on the airways. As always, horns up, Vikings fans.